Lutcher High School in Tulane, played quarterback for the Green Wave from 1985 through 88. Went on to play professionally in the CFL. Left Tulane as the career leader in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completions, and attempts, and accumulated a school record 9,445 yards of total offense. He was inducted into the Tulane Athletics Hall of Fame in 1996, the All-State Sugar Bowl Red in New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame in 2001. Great to have him with us here today. Please give a warm welcome to Terrence Jones. Terrence?
First of all, I want to thank you guys for inviting me to this luncheon. This is my absolute first time being a part of this program. So, sir, I was hoping you'd continue on with your River Parish schools. All right, I'm from Lutcher, St. James Parish. All right, we do have good programs down there as well. But I do get your point. And you're right, football in Louisiana is huge, and I'm so happy to be here. Kids, enjoy the moment. As Ken said earlier, you will get opportunity on the next level. Just continue to work hard in the classroom, obviously, and on the football field and soccer, okay, field. Continue to work hard, and you will have success on the next level. Coaches, as a former player, I understand where you guys are at right now as coaches and getting your team prepared. Trust me, I was at the first game at Ted Gormley, and we can use both of your quarterbacks at Tulane. Those guys are good. They're pretty good. Now, I want to extend some thank yous, respect actually, to a few people that's here, and over the time that I've played high school as well as college football. Both of the Kens, Trahan and Berthlot, these guys covered me when I was in high school and obviously in college as well. Lenny Van Gilder, buddy of mine on the Tulane Hall of Fame committee. Also, he's the vice president of the Louisiana Sports Writers Association. I need to get in there. Gail Latu, another friend of mine. Ro Brown, obviously he's not here. Mr. Jim Henderson, Pete Finney, late Pete Finney. Ed Daniels, thank you. Jim Kleinpeter, Bill Baumgardner, Larry Smith, Ted Lewis, Gary Zarang in the River Parish. And also I have to say thank you this year to IMG at Tulane, who offered me an opportunity to do the color analyst at my alma mater, Todd Graffigniti, Gus Cattingale, as well as the Hall of Famer Steve Barrios. I was elated the fact that they gave me this opportunity, and also Crescent City Sports. Ken and Lenny gave me an opportunity this year also to work on high school level. So I'm really enjoying this transition in terms of, I never wanted to coach, nothing against you guys, but I always wanted to stay close to the program, or to sports and football in general. And this is a good transition for me. And so I just want to thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for covering me over the years in my career, high school as well as college. And now I'm on the side where you're on now. And I mentioned I saw Kenny, Ed, 2 weeks ago, actually at that game, at Ted Gormley, and he asked me, what's it look like from this side? So I will tell you, I have much respect for sports writers, sports reporters now that I'm on this side of the perspective. And I really do enjoy learning from these guys because they've been in the game a long time. And I've listened to them and I replay back in my head as when I was a high school kid, as well as in college, about how many times I've screwed up these interviews. But they assured me along the way that how to do it. And now, here I am, another talking head as well, explaining or providing a color, if you will, for the listening audience. And I'm enjoying this opportunity that is given to me. And I'm looking forward to doing more of it. Now, Tulane. We are a program, I would say, that is on the rise. I've seen Tulane in different lights as a student, as an athlete, as an employee, as an alumni, representative. And I will say this time, as it relates to athletics, is a perfect time. It's a great time. And I think we have a staff in terms of football who is embodying what we would want to expect out of a program that have the physical layout to attract talent, as well as the experience on the staff level overall to keep the talent. And I'm just excited to be around the program to assist in any way that I can. And I always look at other guys talk about their university, their alma maters, and how much they really love being around their school. I love being around Tulane. Tulane, I think, is a wonderful institution and the best city in Louisiana, obviously, but obviously in the state, in the country. And I'm just excited to be able to promote Tulane in this light. Because again, it is a gym, and as it relates to academics, obviously, but athletically, we are on the cutting edge of doing something great at the football program, because I don't care what university that you are on or you go to, football carries the water. It makes the money, and it's one of the identifier in terms of what the kid look at in terms of reputation for that particular school and academically. You would want to go to a school that's up and coming, rising, doing well athletically, and obviously our physical layout is a no-brainer for most people. And so this past year, I think there was a lot of highs and a lot of lows, a lot of waves, if you will, up and down. But I think, as I mentioned earlier, the staff is one of those staff that's been together for quite some time, and they're putting forward the effort to bridge those relationships that are needed to get local talent and keep and retain local talent. I've seen both of you guys, kids at the quarterback camp we had this summer at Tulane, and those guys are pretty good. And I had an opportunity to digress a little bit. I had an opportunity to go to Oklahoma out of high school, and my thought pattern was, 1985. Back then it was Nebraska, Oklahoma 1-2 almost every year. And the offense back then was mostly option. In my high school, we ran that option as well as we dropped back. And so my thought pattern was I didn't want to get hit in college as often. I didn't mind getting hit, but it was 80-20, almost 60-40 in terms of run pass. And I'm saying all that to say, the reason why I chose Tulane is because of the pass first and the option second, because I wanted to throw the football. And I'm also saying that because the style of offense that's being ran today, you have to be able to throw the football. And I think we have the groundwork to get those guys at the same time an offensive scheme as well as a defensive scheme to promote our style of play. Now, the year didn't go as well as we planned it. Obviously, if anybody was watching TV, ended on a controversial call. I was there. You couldn't get in zone any clearer. And of course, referees gave it. It was a home call in my opinion, but he was in. But be that as it may, that's football, right? You have those type of situations, and you have to learn from it and live from it. Now, that one play did not determine the outcome of the game. We did some things and we did not do some things in the game to help ourselves. But anytime those type of plays are happening during the game and it determines your future in terms of football this particular year, it has to be talked about and noticed about from a referee standpoint, and explain that to the kids, because it's hurt. The locker room was, kids was crying. I mean, it was a difficult loss. But again, teachable moment. Don't lose a game in the fourth quarter. Win it in the first half, the second half, and by quarters as well. And we learn from that. So without getting into anything else later on, right here, I will entertain any questions that you guys may have as it relates to Tulane football, or even personal as it relates to me as well. Again, River Parish. Go ahead. Yes.
I watched the game live, and I watched several replays of it. I don't understand why. At no point did I ever see the opposite angle of the goal line the Tulane player's back was always on the replay. You assumed the ball was over, but you couldn't really see it. Why didn't they have another angle? You think a televised game, they would have at least one angle from the other side where you could clearly see the knee hitting ball over, those things, and I didn't see one. And so it was unclear to me, even though I certainly thought it was a touchdown.
Right.
But it was never definitively clear with that angle.
Well, it was strange because it took quite some time to look at the footage, the replay booth, but from what we saw, and even SMU's color analyst guys next to us said it was a touchdown. So it was strange thing for them. And I tell you what, I have never seen referees sprint so fast off a football field after a game. That was a 100-yard sprint, right? And they could have challenged Usain Bolt. They was gone. So I think now, when they go back in the locker room or the next day, I think they saw that themselves in terms of professionals. They would have to agree to themselves that they got that one wrong. But I'm sorry?
Did you ever see a replay?
They did not show us another angle, and which lends to their argument that he didn't get in. But obviously, if you were there, if you was watching the game, it was clear his body was on top of the defender inside the end zone, his whole body. But again, that's one of those lessons you learn in sports. As Bryce mentioned earlier, it doesn't always go your way. It's heartbreaking at times, but at the same time, it's fulfilling to know that you can adjust. Obviously, we don't have another week to do so, but we was there.
One, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. How did you handle the controversy as a rookie color analyst?
Well, I will tell you, if I almost jumped out of the booth, onto the field, and we was really high at the stadium. I had to contain myself. Todd and Steve had to, tell me, because it was just unbelievable. At that split moment, I turned into a fan as opposed to being, down the middle with our calls. But it was a decision where that you I could not believe this guy made that call. And the guy who made the call was right on the goal line. So it was an unbelievable situation.
T, last one here.
Let me just say that I talked to the American office yesterday. Here's what they told me. There was another angle on the play that was not on the television copy, that was not on the TV broadcast that they saw. And the guy in the replay booth saw this angle and said that even though Banks's body apparently fell on the goal line, okay, that when he hit the ground, the ball was not in the end zone. And that, I'm just telling you, this is what the league office said. What the league office said was the replay booth had access to another video angle, okay, that showed that he was not in. Now, I haven't seen that video, so I couldn't tell you whether it's accurate or not. But That's what the league is saying. That's their stance.
But we have to accept what was and what is, and again, it's not, doesn't get any easier to accept that, but obviously we will, and move forward from it, but it was a difficult taste in our mouth. Question?
I said last one.
I've never listened to instructions before. Why start now? Terrence, I've seen you throughout the year as part of the Greenbackers. We've been out there. The weakness that I saw this year was one that just hit me for a loop. It seemed like our defensive backs or the defensive secondary were confused so many different times in so many different games. What do you think that was, and do you know of anything of the recruiting if we're trying to get more of those than other positions for this upcoming year?
Well, obviously you want to improve your football program on both sides of football, so I'm sure that's in the works. But at the same time, in games you have these busts, right? It happens, right? Every football game there's usually 3 or 4 plays in the game that determines the outcome of the game. And unfortunately, we've been on the wrong side of those a few times, but miscommunication in some of those games that took place. And I'm sure with the off-season, as the coaches evaluate this past year, they're going to look at improvements on both sides of football. So.